Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, as always, is Ben.
Yeah. Salt Circle. Yeah. Salty boys.
Sure. Why not?
We're doing
Wisconsin crab.
Wait, what? Wisconsin crab?
Wishcoin crab.
Wisconsin crab. That's
It's
what I
the
thought.
Wisconsin crab.
I see that every time I see that card. Yeah. So you're not
And
wrong.
then Bartisan Bats is Brazilian Bats.
Yep. Classic. We're doing a magic episode.
Yeah, we're
not joking
Magic
about it
Gathering
this time.
week. For reals though. Talking about M, T, and G, and maybe even some A.
Especially the A, actually. I think. I don't know. Like, we kind of switched it. Not last minute. You good? You good there, truck?
Yeah.
Thanks.
What happened?
There was a truck.
Oh,
It's okay. It'll work. It'll work on my audio. I can see the little line like fading into nothingness. Yeah, this has come at a good time, despite the fact that we just kind of threw it in and switched it with other stuff. Because I've been playing a lot of Arena and a lot of Magic and thinking about it a lot. It's an exciting
Nice.
time.
Yeah, because you've been kind of had your issues with not loving Arena before.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like stuff just kind of lined up right. Like I enjoyed Arena, but I just wasn't in that headspace. Like I like my EDH, I like my draft. I still have some thoughts about draft and Arena, but that's fine cuz it's beta and everything. But I think the key to me really falling into it was, I guess it was a little bit white weenie, is pretty much like what really threw me in. Not even the fact that, oh man, I love the concept of this deck, I want to build it. It was that I just had the shit. Like,
Yeah.
I only doing a couple of drafts that I had bought. I just bought the starter bundle because 2,500 gems and whatever for $5 is so good.
Yeah.
It's just rolling off of that. I think I paid for one other draft, but that was very recent. And I suppose I paid for one before the account wipe, so I had gems from that. But regardless, like, that's a very low amount of money to make a deck that is standard competitive. So realizing that just from this small amount of time put in, I could make a like 3/4, maybe 2/3 of a standard deck. Holy shit, that's great. Like, what either the time or the money, actually both, spent on this in paper would be absurd. Best case scenario, I'm dropping $11 on draft and winning enough to get the cards that I need and getting lucky enough to get the cards that I need. As I've stated before, my game store redrafts the rares, so yeah, I don't know, just that. And then, like, oh shit, I also have enough to throw together a half-assed version of Izzet Drakes, or Izzet Phoenix, or whatever, both, actually. Like, that concept is so great to me, and that kind of caused me to not fully fall in, just probably because I keep an ear to the ground for Magic enough where I'm not going to get, like, that first-time player experience, but I'm looking up deck lists now. I'm checking out some of the GP stuff just to see what's up. Like, hey, maybe I have enough cards to make this dumb deck. It's been really fun. I've really been enjoying it. And also, White Weenie is fucking great, and everybody should play it.
It's pretty good. It's just so satisfying to A, play all these 1-drops, and B, just keep the worst hands.
Yeah,
And it's still fun.
Except when you switch decks and then you keep a one-land hand and forget what you're doing.
Yeah. That is when you rotate to other decks, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, I mean, the White Weenie deck came because I was watching the Player of the Year thing, where there was a tie for Player of the Year. To decide it, they played this Conqueror format thing where they each brought 5 decks, and they played until one of them had won with all of their decks.
Mm-hmm.
So the decks couldn't overlap by more than 8 cards, so they had to sort of push outside some of the normal archetypes. And one of the players brought a strictly mono white deck. He had no red in it, and he was playing Rusthawk, Trusty Rusty, and he was playing the Griffin from the starter decks. That's the 2/2 flyer for 2 mana.
Silverback Griffin, I think. Or
Yeah.
Silverbeak, Silverwing, something.
And that was just hilarious to me. And that was his last deck that he had to win with.
Yeah.
He held it to the end, so he lost once with it, then pulled it out, and that was just very funny to me. Because Rust, like the 1/2 flyer is such a crazy thing. Like a lot of the Magic community right now is all up on Healer's Hawk. They love it because the community is like the idea of these 1/1 flyers that have been around forever being actually good is like very appealing.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's Trusty Rusty, mostly just because of that name. It's too good.
Yeah, Trusty, like, I keep a 1 of at least. That's never going away.
And I that game came from Paul Cheon, who does coverage and works in play design on R&D. That's what he calls it, and I guess that was one of their the R&D names for it.
I mean,
that's real good.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's been there from the beginning because it should be.
Yeah. So that turned me onto that deck, and then it's one of those decks that even if you don't have like the cards that are like in the top decks that people are playing, you have approximate cards. And there's one of the best things about where Magic is right now in terms of standard is that like all the standard decks, there isn't one list. There's like a lot of variation even within the set archetypes that could be played, and it's kind of up to your preference and like what you think you're going to be playing that's determining that stuff, it seems like.
Yeah. I think maybe this is something that's come up in standard. I'm not even going to say that it hasn't come up in modern or legacy because I'm pretty sure everything has come up in those formats, whether or not it's successful. But I love the fact that some of the white decks right now are playing Clifftop Retreat and Sacred Foundries, and in the side it's mono white, and then in the sideboard there's a mountain and a bunch of Boros nonsense. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that idea. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of there are like decks that are like transformative sideboards where they're like, game 1 I'm this deck, but depending on matchups, I might actually want to be this other deck that's similar and plays some of the same cards, so I'll just turn into that deck.
Yep.
I've seen it in Vintage with mono blue decks that are blue decks, which in Vintage means they play like 2 other colors, at least, if not 3. That are mainly just focused on being a blue deck, but in the sideboard they have like an Oath of Druids package, where it's all about using Oath of Druids to force in giant creatures, and that's their sideboard.
Yep. That's that. Yeah. Fucking Vintage.
So those transformative sideboard decks that have transformative sideboards are always dope, because it's just like, it's not like I have these select cards that are good for these, that are answers for these specific problems. It's, oh yeah, I've just got this other deck. I'm just going to take out these 15 cards and put in this other deck. Mm-hmm. That's a fun thing. It's one of the, and sideboards are such a fun part of Magic when you get into that stuff.
Yeah. I've been enjoying just doing the best of ones. Like,
that's definitely what I've been doing, because
I want quick.
Crafting a sideboard is also too much like investment in any of these decks. I'd rather have partially formed decks that are good enough, and then
Absolutely.
spend my wild cards on the next deck.
Yeah. I'm actually
sure.
like for wild cards. I mean, right now it's such a biased state of things because rare cards are so easy to burn. You just throw them at the fucking lands. If you want to, if people want to build a deck, that's totally fair. But like you have all those, you have the shocks and the check lands right there that are always going to be good if you don't know what you want.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's a thing. Though they do need to fix. I had a problem, and you were obviously around when this happened. I was opening my packs, and as you open packs, you build up your little cycle vault, whatever thing that particular part of. That's not the vault, is it? That's just like
No.
the pack opening thing.
Yeah.
You build progress towards a wild card per pack, and after the little cycle thing completes,
6 packs gets you a rare wild card.
Yeah, then what is it? 12 gets you a mythic.
Mythic.
Rare? Yeah. So
Or something.
I open up the last pack. That should get me my rare wild card. And the animation goes through. And I don't get it. And I'm like, okay. I submit the bug report. And I was expecting my goal was to, and I saw something about this on the Reddit, on the subreddit. My goal was to just report that bug. But they just gave me the rare wild card like immediately. They got back within like 10 minutes, if that, and just
Nice.
submitted it. And that's great because, and we talked about this a little bit, you don't have to worry about card value. Like, rares are all one level. Everything is one level. And it's like, that's kind of nice that they can do that.
Yeah, it's the benefit of being a collectible card game as opposed to a trading card game.
Yes. And that's, I'm actually kind of glad, like, for new players coming in, and you know, all over the subreddit, it's kind of great because you have so many new people that are coming in, and they're like, "Hey, what should I be crafting? Like, what should I be making a deck? Is there cards that I should be getting? Like, what's the most value?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, you can't check prices for value in this game. You can look at prices all you want, but it's not going to matter in the end. Like,
Yep.
it's the longevity of things that's gonna." So that's, I don't know.
But it's different.
And it's good.
And it's
I
kind of
think.
there are benefits to it, for sure. I mean, this is definitely the cheapest and kind of the best way to play competitive Magic that they've ever had. I would
Yes.
say.
I think, yeah, it is the thing to get into for Magic if you want to play, like, quote unquote real Magic without breaking the bank. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you can also depending on the deck, you can get in on MTGO sometimes for okay prices, but mostly there you're like the thing is if you're good at draft, you can
Yes.
kind of win back your entry fee consistently if you're very good. But yeah, it's still Arena is easier even on the low end decks.
I have been seeing it's pretty great. Like, people are getting a little. Oh, sorry. I feel like I got some in my throat. People are getting a little.
Kermit.
Is it a hermit? Is it a hermit? Is it a
Yeah.
Kermit? Oh, it's like I got
Yeah, which one?
I don't know, man. Okay, I think we're good. I just die on podcast. Possibly.
Nice.
You know, usual. People have been getting a little karma farming ish with it, like PSA for new players, and it's like maybe you could put multiple things in the PSA instead of saying one thing. And instead of 20 people
Nope.
posted, we could have one big thread. But nah.
Nope. No.
One of the great ones I saw was Andanto? Probably Andanto.
Adanto.
Probably Adanto. Unless you're from Wisconsin and then it's Adanto.
A Danto.
A Danto Vanguard. Great card, obviously. Sees a lot of play. People go crazy with the pay for life. Like, I will pay any cost to not have this boy die. And
Yeah, man.
a lot of them,
Value.
like, that new player, like, whatever the fucking, the saga thing is, the black one that causes the opponent to sack a creature immediately.
Ooh.
There have been some people who are like,
Eldest Reborn.
yeah, there are some people who are like, my opponent clearly is new because they paid that for life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Indestructible does not save you from sacrifice.
Yeah. It just like that. I don't know. I just like, you know, occasionally on the main subreddit and in person, whatever, you meet new players. But it's great that there's like this, there's a bunch of new players that are just kind of all in it together. And the fact that they're playing the starter decks against other starter decks is also great.
Yes. I love the deck matchmaking thing they do for the regular queue, because it allows you to just, if I just want to play the starter deck, I could just play the starter deck against other, and know I'm going to get up against other starter decks probably.
Yes.
And that's a pretty great feeling, and really the reason why I keep those decks around, and I'm really not going to mess with them, because I think that's just that's like allowing that to be a format in itself without having to create a separate queue that completely silos people off or whatever. I just think is neat. Because if people are playing other shit that's just kind of similar to that, of just a hodgepodge of cards, like, that's also fun.
It enables jank, and that's like, jank is the best fucking part of Magic, honestly.
It's true, because you just go in and you're like, oh, I'll play this, and this. And then,
yeah.
As long as those aren't like Teferi, are all your good mythics.
I think if you play Teferi, you just get into the good queue. It's too foolproof.
No, there is a queue of other jank Teferi decks, I'll say.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, next time, I think I have enough stuff. Next time Singleton comes around, I might try blue-white, because I got that free Teferi, so why not? You don't have to worry about having 4 copies of shit. It's the best thing.
It's true. Everyone who's in the beta before it opened up got a Teferi, a Vraska, and a Ral.
They were real quiet about... I didn't know this until very recently, and it's far too late now, but apparently there was a window there where if you wanted to craft those planeswalkers, you could actually use those full art, like masterpiece whatever things, to get multiple copies, and that window is now closed.
That window closed very quickly.
Yes,
I was aware of it, and I was like, I need to spend these mythic wildcards on building decks. Yes. I can't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm upset that I didn't know. I wouldn't have done anything. Like, I think I'm sitting on like 7 or 8 or 10 mythic rares or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. I have no idea. Because I don't know. I think I might hold them a little bit, and after assuming I get lucky enough to get a lot or all of the lands I need, I'm probably going to see what happens with whatever non-rotating format they come out with, and I'll do something there.
I mean, that's going to be like a year, probably.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
Well, maybe less, because they are going to bring out... It's a year before the sets that they started this thing with will rotate next fall. But it might start sooner depending on when they bring back, because they're going to bring back
Amonkhet block.
Amonkhet and Kaladesh.
Yeah.
Because they already did the work to make them.
Yep. And people would probably be upset if they didn't put them in.
Yep. Although, it's great that the format starts with Kaladesh, which was completely fucking broken.
Yeah, it was like the most standard bans I've ever seen.
Fucking give me back my fucking artifact shit. I want it.
Yeah.
Aetherflux Reservoir, baby.
Fuck off with your Aetherflux Reservoir. It doesn't belong in the bear deck.
I don't have it in the bear deck.
You know, you say that, and I feel like next time I play the bear deck, you're gonna fucking crack it, and I'm just gonna be real upset. That's how you're gonna. That's how you're gonna table flipping fucking tabletop sim.
Look, if Beast Whisperer were a legendary creature, and there were more bears, then maybe.
Oh my god. Stupid. It's fucking dumb.
I would play Alurin.
Mm-hmm.
That card, that it's an enchantment that creatures that cost 3 mana or less can be played without paying their mana cost and at instant speed.
Yeah.
So play that. Play Beast Whisperer. Bears.
I hate.
Then Aetherflux
this
Reservoir.
conversation so much. I'm so salty already. The worst part about Aetherflux is that you can see it coming from so fucking far away, but you're just tied to those train tracks. You can't do anything really.
No, that's my favorite part about it in EDH is when you get to over 50 life and you've just got like your dick on the table and you're like, yeah, I can kill someone. It's actually not in my interest to fire it off right now until someone makes me. Because I can only kill one person right now.
Yeah.
But, like
Laughs in Orello.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But
fun.
Yeah, I think as far, I mean, commons and uncommons, I've been a tiny bit more like, I got fucking 30 a piece of these boys. I'm gonna crack some of these. But overall,
I've been starved on common wild cards.
I just haven't.
But that's because I have like 3 real decks, and I have okay. So I have Mono Blue Tempo completely built. I Visit Drakes, pretty built, and then I have the white deck, which is honestly missing elephants, but those are rare.
Yeah,
and it's missing Legion's Landing is like the big one.
Yeah, that's what I'm missing from it as well. I have 0
because you can also then you can play Snubhorn, which is the 1 mana 0/3 that if you have City's Blessing gets +3 attack, and you kind of can't play that without Legion's Landing.
Yeah, that's one of the
stuff.
I'm in a weird spot right now where I'm like, I don't know what I put in the basic shit, but I don't know what I should be swapping out at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, until I force Mono Black to become a thing and I burn all my stuff on that.
Okay. Yeah. The problem with the discard deck is then you play a green deck with Nullhide Ferox in your set.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you play Is It Drakes and you're also...
Or I play literally anyone and I'm sad, except for apparently a Mono Black mirror match. And I'm mildly happy. That fucking match. That match was great. I play a swamp. I play Vicious Rumors. He plays a swamp. He plays Vicious Rumors, and I'm like, oh, a man of culture. I see.
Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme.
Yep.
It is interesting to me though that like in the way Standard is right now, like there's the mono blue deck, there's a mono red deck, there's the white deck that's mostly mono white except with red sideboards. But black and green are pretty married to each other. Mm-hmm. Those Golgari decks. There's also the white green deck, but
yeah, Celestia Tokens made a bit of a splash. Is mono blue like truly a thing?
Yes, I mean, it's a thing. It went 10-0 at the Pro Tour.
Yeah. It's just...
like, the only reason that it didn't make top 8 was the person piloting it didn't do great at draft.
Yeah. I think...
It's not... It's like the 6th most played deck? Or no, 8th. 8th most played.
Okay. I just saw some people talking, and they were just discussing how, like... the thing that keeps it from being just fucking everywhere is like there's a lot of nuance to it. Apparently.
Yeah, I've played a lot of it.
Yeah.
The big things are like it's mostly about getting out the Curious Obsession. If you have a starting
Yep.
hand with Curious Obsession and a 1-drop, and land and a card to protect it, that's your ideal draw. But the other big thing to know is like you kind of never, unless you really know the opponent doesn't have removal, you just don't want to play your Tempestions on turn 3.
Yeah.
Is the thing you have to learn when you're playing that deck, even though they're 3 mana. But you really want to be able to protect your stuff once it's in play.
There
You
was
really can't afford to throw cards away.
I think possibly my favorite PSA appeared on the subreddit, and that was what is the fucking one sack counter thing?
Siren's Storm Tamer.
Yeah, they were like PSA.
The Siren Pirate Wizard.
Yeah, they were like PSA. That is a pirate. Please, I mean, if you are against me and you decide to fiery cannonade, great. But maybe for
I haven't had that happen to me.
Oh,
I've never seen that happen. That's great, though.
I mean, I honestly, I can see myself doing that and being like, oh, huh.
No, if you're playing Fiery Cannonade, the first rule of thumb is look at every creature and make sure it's not a pirate.
But it's a fucking siren.
There are a lot of pirates.
They like try to hurt pirates and sailors. They're not pirates themselves. Breaking my
pirate siren.
immersion.
This is a wizard pirate siren.
Oh, what? Next you're going to tell me there's some sort of elephant cleric in the game?
Yes.
Oh, no.
More than one, even.
What's the...
Elephants are known for being clerics.
Elephants are fucking no joke. What was the... Oh, no. You know what? It wasn't an elephant. I'm thinking of Siege Rhino.
Crash of Rhinos.
Crash of Rhinos, yeah. Yeah, we were...
Yeah, Siege Rhino was... I really like Siege Rhino. That's a cool card. It's mean.
What does it all do again? I remember getting my ass kicked by it when we played a little bit of Modern, but...
It's a 4/5 trampler for 4 mana, and also you make the opponent lose 3 life and you gain 3 life.
When it enters?
Yeah, when it enters the battlefield.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's just like an efficient body, and it gets you value immediately.
Mm-hmm. Much like Luxodon Restorer. Or, no, that's a shit one. Venerated Luxodon.
Venerated Loxodon, yeah.
Real difference in power right there, as we discussed.
Yes.
Oh.
Luxodon Restorer is a garbage card. It's just bad.
Man, how many
Venerated
people do you
Loxodon.
think have, like, picked that card in draft? Like, not, like, misremembering the name? Like, if you're new and you're like, shit, it's the elephant with Convoke. That's the good one, right? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, new players. I'm basically a new player.
The ones I had to learn about in draft were some of the other ones, like the giant hexproof dude.
Yeah.
It's like a billion mana. It's like, this is still too much mana. This is hard to cast. And there's like the 4/5 flyer that's also a billion mana. That is also hard to cast. It's like your deck has to be correct to be able to play these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I still... You know, I had to have, like, rare picked some of the Loxodons at some point. I don't think I had that many in my Bomb Selesnya deck. But, yeah.
They're good in Selesnya.
Yeah, as it turns
It's
out.
kind of like... I mean, the Selesnya deck that I like that exists right now is basically like, yeah, let's play the white deck, but let's also play March of the Multitudes.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, March of the Multitudes is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the reason it's crazy is because it's an instant, even.
Yeah.
Like, you just do it at the end of your opponent's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Also, Tristani's pretty good.
Yeah.
That one, in my in my singleton deck that was like too slow. It was slower than it should have been because I was just playing powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Tristani was always the card I wanted to get the board under control.
What's her deal in this set again? Exactly.
Other creatures get +1/+1. When she comes into play, she creates 2 of the 1/1 white soldier lifelink tokens.
Right.
And then also at the end of your turn, every player gains control of all creatures they control, or they own rather.
Yeah.
So don't use your Eldest Reborn to reanimate your opponent's creatures when you have a Tristani on the field. Maybe is a mistake I have made.
What's her power toughness?
1/4.
I can connive her though.
It's true. You can.
I fucking love that card.
Connive is very good.
What did you roll it out on yesterday?
I was just playing it on Llanowar Elves over and over again.
Yeah, that's what it was. Fuck yeah.
I'll connive your Llanowar Elf. Now I'll connive your other Llanowar Elf.
Fucking this is pod racing though.
Yeah.
Now this is magic. Splash green into your Dimir deck because you have connive. Get those elves. Yeah, I think my only major thing. I mean, they introduced direct challenge, and I think it's pretty good. Like it's nothing unexpected. There's no friends list yet, but whatever.
But if you want to play with someone, you can play with someone. It's dope.
Yep. Now my next like big want is a free no keeps draft for like friends. That's like the thing I am possibly looking forward to the most in this game. Like, yeah, we could set it up in tabletop sim, but also it's a lot more. It's a lot more effort.
The whole problem with that is organizing it more than anything. I don't actually think tabletop sim is the reason it hasn't happened. It's getting people together to
but it's also jank.
Do it. I mean, it would be,
it's extra.
It would be fine.
It's extra stuff.
It would be fine. It would be fine. Also, in tabletop, we can draft the computer-generated cards, which is the thing I want to do so
yeah,
badly.
I really do want to do that. We need to figure that out at some point because those are too good. I forget what the. I need to go back through that Twitter. There was a fucking ridiculous one, and it's actually just the best. Some of the shit that gets, it would not pass.
Oh, you think?
Just a little bit.
It's just a little too jank.
Right. Voice the Fluss. 2 green, 2 colorless. Instant trap. Tap all non-land permanents and exile them. You just got flussed.
Look, man. I really like Insanity Mystic.
Which one's that?
Because it's an elf that gives slivers fear.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Oh, right. And then there is the human soldier that makes all sliver creatures you control can't be blocked except by creatures that are.
Oh my god, that's so fucking good. It can only be blocked by creatures that are.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, there's some good shit there. We need to do that. That actually is like, as far as drafting goes, that should be top priority.
Yes.
In Arena, their next big thing is like rank matters. That's their next like.
Yeah, that's the thing they've said is the next focus.
Yeah.
Because they want to get on that esports train.
Esprats.
Yeah, for next year.
Well,
So
and
that's definitely a
that's
priority for them.
and that's like what keeps people playing, right? Like right
Yeah.
now, I got my 15 wins for the day. I got my 15 wins for the week, and I got all my daily shit done. There's not really much else
Yeah.
for me to do.
I mean, the thing to do is go into the constructed queues if you have a deck good enough for it.
Yeah.
Because then you can. That's just a reason to play, and you have a chance to gain progression. Assuming you have a
I
deck that can win consistently enough to at least break even or come close to it.
yeah, I
Which,
had that fucking that 7 win with the white weenie
yeah,
though.
no. When you have a deck that can 7-0, then
The thing,
that format becomes so much more worth. The game becomes more worth playing, honestly, because then you actually feel some progression towards your collection when you play, rather than just relying on the really slow 15 game thing.
yeah. My only thing there is that like playing constructed and stuff gets so much better on the weekends. Gotta bust it out at like 1 p.m. on a Sunday. You know you're gonna get against some bad players.
Yeah, for on the same principle that
Like every online
MOBAs
game.
are a nightmare to play on the weekends.
Yeah. I got super. Oh, when was that? That was on Friday. Yeah, after Delphi Boys, we did our Siege. I played a little bit of Magic, and then I played some Call of Duty. And I think I streamed a little Call of Duty, and then I like just played a little off stream. And I was getting so fucking salty, and I'm like, why am I playing so bad? Why am I playing like garbage? And then I realized that it was fucking 3 in the morning. And there are only like 2 types of people playing Call of Duty at 3 in the morning. And
People
both
who
of
are
those
high as balls.
people who are high as balls and people who are gonna kick my ass at Call of Duty. I'm like,
I
oh,
mean,
yeah, it's time to go.
There's
to bed.
also overlap. There's also a lot of overlap.
Yeah, yeah. So,
It's just muscle memory at a certain point.
yep. Twitch kills. Pow pow.
Twitch kills? Wow.
I mean, it probably does. Look how many people have tried to have given it all up to be a Twitch streamer.
Fools.
I mean, yeah, that's a bad decision.
Yeah.
I do wish in Arena they changed the blue-white starter deck.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
find any texts about it anywhere, though.
That's what I mean, I can't see it either, but that's because like we already have it. But supposedly for new people getting the game, it's the what is it, Claw and Wing or whatever. So it's flyers instead of a non-existent artifact supported deck.
Yeah, that makes sense, given that,
Yes.
like, there aren't any artifacts. There aren't enough artifacts in
No.
current.
Not enough. Like there are barely enough artifacts, much less good ones.
Yeah, because part of the reason that happened is because M19, because Kaladesh had so many good ones that once they did M19, they didn't want to, they didn't overdo it. So there's like an artifact theme in there, but it's so toned down
Yeah.
because of not wanting to
Break everything again.
break standard. Yeah.
Fucking cats and artifacts
it's-
just ruining everything.
Basically barely there.
But yeah, I mean, the only reason why it's I don't care in the end, but apparently the new deck list has a Warkite Marauder in there. That'd
Yeah.
be nice. It'd be a nice little get.
I mean, I've crafted 2 of those for my mono blue tempo deck.
Oh, look at this guy spending cards on decks.
I did it. I did the thing. I mean, my mythics, I spent them on Arclight Phoenixes and
Yeah.
one ofs for Singleton.
I think did I craft an earlier? No, I didn't because I had been mulling it over because I built the Is That Phoenix deck to the best of my ability, but they give you one rekindling Phoenix for free, and I think I had drafted the other two arc lights at some point, and then got
Yeah.
a third. Not nearly as good in draft, except for the time when I had 6 Sonic Assaults. I was assaulting a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Arclight Phoenix was one I just crafted because I'm just like, that's the card for this deck.
Yep.
And like everything that facilitates it is like common or uncommon. So that's where I want to be with spending cards to build a deck.
It's great because you can just throw garbage in there too. Like it doesn't like you can get the basic function of the deck working without.
Yeah.
There's so many substitutes.
There are a lot of substitutes. And you can build it with Goblin Electromancer or without it, depending on if you want more of the 2-mana cantrip cards or you want to focus more on the 1-mana cantrip cards.
Or if you want to play a shitload of Sonic Assaults.
I can't condone this.
Sonic Assault is the best card in Magic currently. Changed my mind.
Venerated Loxodon.
I tap it,
Seen.
bitch. Oh, what's that? What's that?
No.
It's your turn again? I tap it again. Boom.
Yeah, but all my other creatures, though. March of the Multitudes.
Tap it. Tap. Keep tapping.
Tapped one of my 10 things.
But I'm dealing 2 damage per time.
Carnage Tyrant.
Carnage Tyrant. Oh no. Everything's fucked. It's all dickered. Shut it down. Got it out. I don't. Yeah, that card fucks me so bad.
I love that card.
Yeah, the decks I played.
I love it because it's just like such a hard counter to control in blue. It's just,
dude, it's a hard counter to. Well, it's a pretty hard counter to my White Weenie deck.
I mean, it's a pretty hard counter to a lot of things. It's hard to answer for sure.
I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've been able to settle a single Carnage Tyrant, but I might do it. Like,
yeah, no. The big thing is that for the White Weenie deck is if they're playing Carnage Tyrant, you were probably just too slow.
yeah,
The game has gone on too long.
there's been weird circumstances.
Like, or you can maybe still get around it and to force enough damage through. One or the other.
There's definitely been times where, like, Carnage Tyrant is good, but if I have enough flyers out, and
Yes.
by the time they're playing Carnage Tyrant, unless everything has gone catastrophically wrong, but breaking even somehow, like, they're gonna have lost life, and those flyers, like, you just keep chumping and keep flying over them, and ideally you come out on top. Rusty.
Trust the rust.
Yeah, you have hexproof, can't be countered, trample bullshit. But do you have a trustable foul on your side? I think not. Mono green.
Look, you just have to trust. I love saying trust the rust because it just reminds me of the Super Mario Brothers movie every time.
Oh no.
They say trust the fungus.
Trust the fungus. No, trust the rust. Gotta trust the rust, baby.
Yeah.
I also had
Pretty.
that spicy Etrata win. Etrata? Extrata? It's Etrata, right?
Etrata.
Etrata.
I just see it as errata.
Erotica?
No,
I had
errata.
that.
Like
There's a fucking altar for that card. What's the rest of it? Etrata the Silencer? Oh no. Erotica the Silencer. Ball gags everywhere. Stroll into Friday
I think there's a
Night
card
Magic.
from Torment that has that art.
Is it the bind? Is it bind? The one with the chick being tied to the ground with ropes?
No, that's a much older card than the one I'm thinking of.
I mean that one's classic. And ways of
not-
yeah.
You're not wrong. Now I have to know.
Oh boy.
Also, more Ultimate Masters spoilers have been coming out today.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, there were like the big thing was to me is that there are other rares that weren't in the
Yeah.
box topper that are pretty good, like All Is Dust.
Dude, I need to get my hands on that fecundity. Fecundity. Is that how you pronounce it?
Fecundity,
Fecundity? Is that just how it's pronounced?
I think. I don't know.
Um,
I actually don't know.
The original art is Rebecca Guay, and it looks
Yep.
pretty good. But as far as her stuff goes, I don't. It's not anything special. I don't even know if I have it. I might, but
I definitely have it. I have
Teresa
multiples.
Nielsen did the new art, and it looks fucking nice. Like that is something I want. I want it in foil. I want it mint. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's my question to you is: have you gotten into picking your land art in Arena yet, though?
I know you can, and I
Yeah, man.
haven't, but
Look, the important thing is that my mono blue deck is using chippy islands, so it's pretty good.
God bless him. Can you? Is it just like sets that are in the game, or did they just add all the art? I thought I saw.
No, it's just sets that are in the game.
Okay, I thought I saw something at one point where they had like a shitload of art that was not yet technically in the game somehow.
I think maybe in the before the beta was open, they had more.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I need to do that. I don't know what I would go with. I guess I don't know what all shit is in standard right now. Probably the Min Yum lands, the cycle from Ixalan. They're like the watercolor ones, real nice.
The chippy islands are from M19. I know.
Yeah. Is that in like that weird cycle? I'll find it. Just hit up that Scryfall. Oh yeah. Okay, yep, it's the cycle I'm thinking of. The one from what is that? Mirrodin? Shards of Mirrodin? Something.
All I know is that it's this island.
Yep. Yeah. Shards of Alara. That's it.
Ah, Shards of Alara. That makes more sense than Meriden.
I was like trying
that
to.
doesn't
I
look
get
metal.
I get them all fucking confused.
Look, Meriden is a very specific place. It's called New Phyrexia. All hail New Phyrexia.
All hail. So yeah, I think this was the same print from Shards of Alara. If it's not, then it is the sister to the planes that he did for it, which is so fucking good. Same like sky and stuff, and then it's like dunes. Chippy does good work.
He's very good.
I mean, mostly because he's done some of the like, I don't know. He does a mixture of like really great art and it looks fucking beautiful, and then he has stuff that's just like ridiculous and fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
He is one of the best Magic artists.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes,
like,
it is, and it is the island from Shards of Alara. You were correct.
Ha! Got him.
Got him.
It's like watching. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you like catch shit like that. Like when I was
When you're a
watching
total nerd.
when you're fucking guy who looks at the artist on Magic cards. when I was looking through, Crump had a bunch of bulk stuff, and I'd been looking at Sisei's ring, and I'm like scrolling through shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, you have the Sisei's ring and it's the good one. It's the Giancola one. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, the artist, man. And he's like, why do you know that? And I'm like, it's so good. Look at it. There's hands on it and shit. It's great.
It's true.
And he like,
it's true though.
you're like, oh, I can't see the artist. Is that Donato? Is that Donato on there? Well, oh shit, it's Donato. And like you pick it out, and it's such a good feeling.
Yeah. For me, it was like I didn't think about the artists, but I definitely recognized stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rebecca Guay's art is pretty easily identifiable, even when I wasn't thinking about it.
Yep.
I could recognize that as one of those cards.
I think Teresa Nielsen is like, she might be the most iconic Magic artist. I think she probably just is. Like, it's so good. Her shit is all so good. Like, Rebecca Guay has some stuff that I'm like, it's fine. Teresa Nielsen. Jesus.
Yo, Shippy though.
Chippy. I mean, Chippy is still like, if someone, if someone's talking Magic cards and I hear Chippy, like, okay, what are we talking about? What do I need to do to get this card? I have, is it Silver Glade Elemental? That's a chippy bit. It's real good. It's like a forest. It's like one of his ones that's like kind of weird, but not crazy. I think it's Silver Glade Elemental. I probably am misremembering. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. I know my
Little,
cards.
little tree folk dude.
Yeah, a little tree boy. What does it do again? You get a forest, don't you?
Yes. You get a forest. So it can be a dual land.
Mm-hmm.
But he costs like 5 mana.
But it's chippy, though. It's worth the mana.
Not wrong.
I've actually noticed...
You are wrong. Look, the best Chippy art is clearly Plague Spitter.
Plague Spitter is actually just like one of the best arts in Magic of all time. It is so good. Like, that card is fucked up and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was the guy who did, I mean, I think your classics are Animate Wall. It's just a fucking angry face wall. And it's great.
Pretty great. It's pretty good.
I think the other two are like the one that they had actual art for, but something happened to it, so they just filled it in entirely with black and then drew 2 eyes on the card. And I forget what the actual card is, but it like half works. And the other one was a dude, like they gave the shit to the artist, they, you know, name of the card, what they are kind of thinking of, whatever. And it was like the word Lemure or something. I think that's it. Oh, Lemure? Yelure? It's like it's a shades or spirits of the restless or malicious dead in Roman mythology. The dude didn't know what that word was, or just misread it, and he drew a lemur. so it's just a lemur on the card, and it's fucking great.
It's pretty.
But they kept the name. Oh, that's what it is. Hyalopterus lemur.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What a great card. And I don't know, I should look it up if so the flavor text, the flavor text keeps the same, like, the shade spirit thing. The Lemirs looked harmless until they descended on my troops. Within moments, only bones remained. And it's like a little lemur with wings, because you can give it, for 0 mana, you can give it -1, -0, and it gains flying until the end of the turn. So, like, all these fucking lemurs descending from the heavens and devouring troops.
Yeah, I love shit in Magic that is just weird. I mean, one of my favorites is that Birds of Paradise only existed because the art for Volcanic Island originally just had this fucking bird in it, and they're like, this bird is fucking bigger than this island. You can't use this as a land. I guess we have to invent another card.
You know, it's funny because later they did Dryad Arbor, and that didn't go well.
That was well, it was fine until they did that special printing.
Yeah, the from the vault printing really.
Yeah, the Future Sight art was fine. That card looked weird as shit because it had the future border.
Mm-hmm.
The future border.
Have people, like, is that only a recent thing that it's been being complained about, or have people been bitching about that for a long time and I only just noticed it, like, semi-recently?
I mean, it just doesn't come up that often.
And then then it does for some reason because someone fucked up in a tournament and they're like,
yeah,
it looks like a forest. Why is he keeping it with the forest?
Yeah.
It's not maintaining the board state.
I mean, honestly, watching tournament Magic, keeping it with the forests is a no-go. Like, the way people play is their lands are back there, and all the other cards, regardless of what they are up front.
Mm-hmm. It's whatever. People can fucking. It's fine.
I mean, I was watching fucking the Pro Tour and saw a guy made the top 8 off of 2 matches in a row, his opponent getting a game loss because they had 8 cards and they passed the turn without discarding, and it was their 3rd GRV, so it was an automatic game loss.
Wow.
He won 2 matches off of that, and one of those games he was like just about to lose.
Jesus, that's ridiculous.
It's the rules, man.
I guess. Like, so how soon was it? Did he let it go for a bit and then called a judge or something? Or?
No, it was the judge made it happen. He actually was like trying to just get the game to keep going, and he even offered to concede, but the judge was like, "Nope."
Damn.
We have to maintain the rules.
Yeah,
because it was on camera.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, they were both on camera. It was pretty special.
A local dude managed to get I think he's done fairly well in standard. I don't know how much he's won, but he's definitely made like top 8 at the very least, if not won 1 or 2 things locally. Mm-hmm. And he was on a camera match, and the commentators spent like half of the time making fun of his hat. Like, it was the whole thing. And so everybody at the store was like pissed about it. And they're like, it was fucking stupid. Like, they just made fun of his hat. And I'm like, that's fucking amazing.
That's so good.
Anybody can be at a Magic tournament and get on camera for playing Magic and be talked about, like their Magic playing being talked about. But they talked about his hat.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than being the guy who quadruple sleeves all his cards.
Oh my god,
for that every time.
It's so great though. Isn't there like more levels too? Like there's like 6 levels, isn't there? People go crazy, dude.
6 levels. There's like this guy who's playing Turbo Fog and who's playing 4 sleeved. If you go to 6, that your deck would be so hard to shuffle,
dude. It would be hard. It would literally be hard. It'd be like a fucking brick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I quadruple sleeve my EDH deck. What about it? Well, dude, it's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah. I was watching the footage from Eternal Masters, which is like the vintage legacy old school format tournament that kind of happened around the Pro Tour. And the rewards for that are like paintings of vintage cards, basically. Or like for the legacy one, there's Volcanic Island. And so the question is that tournament legal? And the answer is only if you have the rest of your deck is also paintings of that size, and you can shuffle them.
Was it paintings or was it like the oversized card?
I mean, it's the oversized card.
Oh, dude, that's
So it has the frame.
those are fucking things.
Yeah.
There are so many, like, I didn't know how much of a thing it was, and like people try to pick them up. Like, there are people who absolutely try to do that. And like lands are the big one because they don't print a lot of lands. I think one time they did like an oversized set of lands, like for a promo thing, whatever. Like the giant, the poster size, and those go for a lot of money. People, you need that mana base.
It's hilarious.
Right? I would be so happy to fucking see a game of giant Magic being played. Can you imagine, like, you'd have to riffle shuffle. Like, you get a second person to help you riffle shuffle. Oh, it'd be so good.
And like, yeah, they're sleeved. They're in painting frames.
Right? Are there any discernible markings? How dare you? What are you suggesting? Yeah,
Man.
that's
I think that's a
Magic podcast.
That's a podcast.
It's great.
Apparently,
'cause,
there's
like,
going to be an arena announcement at the Game Awards.
When's
the
that?
thing I heard. I don't know, sometime in December or something.
Oh.
End of the year.
Oh,
it's the end of the year video game
It's so far away.
show. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily the last thing update for arena, but that is where a big arena announcement will happen. Apparently.
Yep.
That video game show. Because it's a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, Magic's a video game now.
It's been a video game. Chandelar.
Okay, well, oh my god. It's a good video
Also
game now.
MTGO. It's been
Again,
around
it's
for
a
a
good
while.
it's a good video game now.
I like MTGO. But it has its issues.
It is
for sure.
definitely one of its many things. Aesthetically pleasing is not one of them.
No, it is functional.
It is definitely functional.
It is functional if you know what you're doing, too. It's not. It's also not newbie friendly either. But you can tame it to do the things you want to do.
Gross.
Look, you can play multiplayer on MTGO, which you cannot do on Arena.
You can do the same
Say
thing
that
on
much.
tabletop.
I mean, yeah, if you're playing with friends, it's much better. I much prefer tabletop for playing with friends. Although
I think there's Discord groups for randoms. Like if you're looking for a game or whatever.
yeah,
Not the
you
same,
have to
obviously,
talk to
but like
people.
still. Not necessarily. You just mute your mic.
no, to play on Magic on tabletop, you would have to talk to people.
Oh, that's
the
true,
rules would
yeah.
would not work without verbal communication, Ben.
You just type in a type box above above your
No,
board.
look, Magic is a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a complicated game, and EDH is even more complicated.
But that's what makes it great. EDH,
is.
I mean.
Yeah. It's also the thing that makes it so we haven't played it in a while.
Well, that's
Because it's
it
like people have to go to bed.
Yeah,
It's like-
eventually.
We cannot just start up a game late at night. It's just not. It's a bad idea.
It fucking is. I like, honest to God, that game that went until 5 a.m. like that was a cornerstone in some of my bedtime policies now. Like that was the straw that broke my back. I'm like, I can't. This is an awful thing. Especially because I lost like 3 hours ago and I'm still watching for some reason.
That was poor choices.
Yep.
Poor choices. But that's a podcast. You can find us, or you can email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at saltcirclepod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever. Salt Circle Podcast. And you can find our episodes hosted at anchor.fm/saltcircle, and I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP.
in response.
Oh no. If I say it fast enough, you can't counter it.
Nope, I have split second, so I can counter it anyway.